just for purposes of, standard procedure, I would love to introduce you, Carl. Yeah. Also, please gather in, get close. Don't be afraid, y'all. Don't be afraid. Just get up close. I've got a tip jar for the band, so I'm going to bring it around. All right. It is my absolute pleasure to present to all of you beautiful people and to the wonderful internet world and YouTubes, Mr. Carl Carbonell from Tulsa, Oklahoma, live at District.
Thanks, Bobby. All right. Hey there, everybody. It's nice to be in Stillwater. I've only been here one other time, and it was fun. So 2 for 2. The first song I'm going to play you requires a little bit of a story on the front end, so I'm going to tell it to you. I moved here from Salt Lake City, Utah, 2.5 years ago, or I moved to Tulsa, rather. Oh, no, I was just going to act like you didn't. But I did live in Nashville for a while. I don't know if you knew that or not, but either way. I moved here to Tulsa from Salt Lake City. And while I lived in Salt Lake City, I worked at a bar called Duffy's Tavern. That's at 932 South Main Street, if you ever visit. While I worked there, I had 2 regulars named Joe and Brent. Joe is a truck driver. Brent's an exterminator. And this song is about a hypothetical retirement program where Brent has grown a guilty, this is actually true, Brent has grown a guilty conscience from killing so many pests. He feels like he's ended so much life that his cosmic, balance is out of whack. And he can't do it anymore. So he says to Joe, what if we teach all these animals and bugs how to drive the 18-wheelers? Then we can both retire. And then our jobs get done. Bugs can't use money. They would have no use for that. So we can just keep the paychecks. The bugs do everything. Then the problem, though, is with all this extra free time, they become raging alcoholics because they just sit around and drink beer, hang out all the time because they're best friends. Why wouldn't they? But they learn after a little bit of therapy and a little bit of meditation that they must turn to the doctrine of Hinduism to learn how to love themselves and their community once again, which is pretty classic content for an American folk song. All right, and it's I like to say this before I play this. It seems like a little bit of a cop-out, but when I do this song first, I got to. There's a lot of words, so please don't judge me if I forget them. And now that I said that, I won't. But if I hadn't said that, I would. You know what I'm saying? It's like a weird keep your eye on the ball, but not too much kind of thing, Well, Joe said to Brent, hey man, I'm spent. I'm all the way worn down. And I'm sick of driving all these dirty old trucks all over this dirty town. There's gotta be somebody else these days that feels like making a living this way. I'm ready to hang it up, man. Let's pass that torch on down. So then Brent said to Joe, yeah, man, I know. I've been killing bugs since a long time ago, and it's starting to weigh on my conscience, if I could tell you the truth. These bugs ain't never done shit to me. Just one bite on my ass and one on my knee, but killing them for strangers is starting to feel uncouth. And so then Joe yelled, man, what the hell? I know that we could find a way to change our fate from something we hate to just drinking beer all day. Brent replied, Joe, open your eyes. I know who could drive for you. I got a whole lot of unemployed bugs that ain't got shit all else to do. Bugs can't spend no money anyway, so you and I, we could still keep our pay without having to do anything. Nothing, all day long. And then, instead of killing these things, we just give them a chance to spread their wings while enjoying gainful employment, man. What could go wrong? Well, a spider's got 8 arms, and he can surely hold a wheel. Termites don't mean nothing in a cab that's made of steel. The rats are big enough to work the gas and the brake. The wipers and the shifter both get handled by the snake. Well, a moth don't hurt nobody, so you can leave the porch light on. But when that roll gets called up yonder, I'll be gone. Well, in their newfound state of constant libation, they pursue a new hobby of contemplation to further their minds, but basically not get bored. But thinking and drinking only goes so well for as long as a month, but really only a spell, and after a while your brain and your liver are bound to get sore. Then when you think too much, you're supposed to think a little less. You're supposed to fill your conscience with nothingness and cleanse your mind and find quote-unquote inner peace. But one could easily spend too much time checked out, so they checked back in. They bought a brand new house on the avenue of their minds and signed a 5-year lease. Well, a spider's got 8 arms and he can surely hold a wheel. Termites don't mean nothing in a cab that's made of steel. The rats are big enough to work the gas and the brake. The wipers and the shifter both get handled by the snake. Well, a moth don't hurt nobody, so you can leave the porch light on. But when that roll gets called up yonder, I'll be gone. Pick one, Carl. Well, I read it in a Upanishad one time that there ain't no me and there ain't no mine, and I'm you and you're me and everything is everyone. When you're a messed up kid, it's kind of a thrill, and when you reconsider all them bugs you killed, it ceases to seem like it was so much goddamn fun. So before you go spitting in somebody's face, just take a deep breath and remember your place, which is everywhere, buddy. All the time, buddy, and it's never not. 'Cause if you love me, that means you love you. And if I love me, that means I do too. We're just a bunch of branches growing out of the same damn pot. Well, a spider's got 8 arms, he could surely hold a wheel. Termites don't mean nothing in a cab that's made of steel. The rats are big enough to work the gas and the brake. The wipers and the shifter both get handled by the snake. Well, you could stop and smell the roses, watch the butterflies in the air. But when that roll gets called up yonder, I'll be everywhere. Thanks, y'all. We did it. See, if I hadn't have said that. And then it would have been weird because I would have tried to explain that I just forgot the words while I was still playing the song, and the shame spiral would begin. Oh, man. I was actually in Salt Lake City a couple weeks ago. I had to go back there for my day job, and I went to that bar. I went to Duffy's, and I ran into these other regulars that I wrote a song about, so I figured I'd play that tonight since they're on my mind. Dave and Deanna are their names, and they're, I guess they're, let's see, when I knew them, 82. Dave's 85, Deanna's 87, and they just, I put it in my calendar, they're about to celebrate their 19th wedding anniversary. So you do the math. That's a cute story. And I wrote this song about them. It's called Meet Me Halfway. Those neon lights shine, they reflect off the wine, and the beer bubbles like fancy champagne. You're chit-chatting, you're shit-talking, your old shitty wrist watch, it ticks loud, but it keeps time just the same. There was an ocean there between us, but right now it's just a lake. So row out to the middle, meet me halfway. These songs all make me wanna cry and dance the night away. So I'll dry my eye on your shoulders while we sway. Well, time takes its toll. I never planned on getting old, but no one asked me what I had to say. I ain't got much left to do but sit down right here next to you. And even if I did, I'd choose you anyway. There was an ocean there between us, but right now it's just a lake. So row out to the middle, meet me halfway. These songs all make me wanna cry and dance the night away. So I'll dry my eyes on your shoulder while we sway. Our neighbors come and go, you sleep through all my favorite shows, but I know a little rest might do you good. As long as you're awake when that big old sunrise breaks, then I'll hold you like I always said I would. There was an ocean there between us, but right now it's just a lake. So row out to the middle, meet me halfway. These songs all make me wanna cry and dance the night away. So I'll dry my eyes on your shoulder while we sway. Thanks, y'all. Whew. Well, Olen, thanks for everything, man. This sounds great. How about a round of applause for my man, Olen? A+, not that you asked me. All right, so this song, sorry that I have to just talk about them all. They're weird, so I feel like I better give you a guide before we just jump in there. I don't know. This one, though, especially. First verse is kind of about some reflections upon the doctrine of Christianity. Second verse is the same except to Buddhism. And then the third verse is about this one time I had a panic attack listening to a true crime podcast. And this song is called Reincarnation Blues number 14. I'm immediately self-conscious of the amount of screen printing ink on my hands because there's cameras. This is hilarious. Sorry. I just looked over and saw that camera, and that came out of my mouth. I'll get back to playing this song now. There's a garden, and there's a tree there. Right in the middle, you see. But the apple that grows upon it, it ain't meant for you to eat. Listen, buddy, you can trust me. I was here before you. And you better hope I never catch you tasting my fruit, 'cause you know you ain't gonna do it again. Let me tell you straight, my friend, that was the original sin, and you ain't about to get back in. as I'm sleeping, he says I ought to wake up. And when I do, I'll finally realize that I could fill my own cup. No desires, no discontentment, just always fancy free. Then on his deathbed, he laid there smiling. He grabbed my hand and he winked, and then he said, I think I'm about to do it again. Let me tell you straight, my friend, we were not originally men, and now I'm about to get back in. His heart shattered from looking at her. The chitter-chatter made him out of soul. Shots scattered, now your flag's tattered. The former's sadder than the latter. Fell off a ladder, bruised and battered. A silver dagger on a silver platter. So what's the matter? Pitter patter, we're all just matter, and nothing really matters. So even if we do it again, we ain't gonna know it, my friend. And trust me, that's the good news, man, 'cause I don't wanna get back in. Don't make me get back in. I ain't trying to get back in. Thanks, y'all. That features the smallest horn section in the state of Oklahoma that I'm aware of. Okay, so this next tune, we're gonna go on a little road trip together. I have this, my band and I are gonna record these 3 songs in a consecutive format one day. But we're gonna call it the Road Triptych. Get it? That's right, that's right. I know words. But this first song's called Memphis, and it's about, my family lives in Augusta, Georgia, and then I went to high school in Memphis, and now that I live in Tulsa, every time I go visit my family, it's great, because I get to stop in Memphis, and I'm gonna play the song now. Thanks for being here. I'm having a great time. Y'all having a good time? Let's go. Absolutely. Great. Augusta, Georgia's where my folks call home, but to me it's just a place with a golf course I won't ever play on, but I still visit every holiday. But Charleston's where I woke up this morning, lonesome and blue. Oh, there it was. I'll just start it over. Thanks for your patience. But Charleston's where I woke up this morning, lonesome and blue, with my arms wrapped around a motel pillow, wishing it was you. Tulsa's where I hang my hat these days, and it suits me just fine. The beer is cheap and so is the gasoline, and the people there are kind. But by the time the sun was coming up, I was crossing into Alabama. About an hour ahead of schedule, stopped for breakfast just east of Birmingham. And then it's 22 west to Memphis, bye-bye Birmingham. Wrap me up in scrambled eggs, coffee and country ham. There's a gal in Oklahoma calling me to come back home. And I ain't smart enough to not leave here in the first place, but I ain't dumb enough to keep her waiting long. I ain't dumb enough to keep her waiting long. Well, I was born in Lynchburg, Virginia, out in the Blue Ridge. And it's a place I'm proud to call my home, but it ain't like I got to pick. And then my family moved to Memphis, Tennessee, right before I started high school. And I hated it at first, but these days I think it's pretty cool. They got record shops and skate parks and punk rock, good barbecue. And every time I'm driving back to Tulsa, I don't ever mind passing through. Yeah, I turned 17 in Memphis, and now I'm passing through as a man, holding my breath over the mighty Mississippi, just a wishing I was holding her hand. That gal in Oklahoma calling me to come back home. And I ain't smart enough to not leave here in the first place, but I ain't dumb enough to keep her waiting long. I ain't dumb enough to keep her waiting long. Thanks, y'all. All right. What do I got time for? One more or two more? What are we doing? All right, I'll do two more then. We got to finish the road trip. You know what I'm saying? We got to get to L.A. So now, this song's about kind of we're going from the Midwest to the almost West, sorta. You'll see what I mean. Split I-20 in half all night, straight as a New York Yankee pinstripe. I was begging I could see your face tonight, clinging to a dream I knew I needed to release into this desert air that's wearing dry my eyes. These holy books are such a bore. I am human, hear me roar. I've been learning nothing new except the things I wanna know. I ain't been going any places I ain't never tried to go. You tell me that it's perfect and then I say I don't know. So I'm dirty in the storm ditch while you're whiter than the snow. Broke a Safeway sandwich in half, split a milkshake after Flagstaff. Eat my body and my blood. There's animals that roam these plains that treat each night like it's the same. Hot or cold, naked as the mud. I'd never make it through the winter. I am human, hear me whimper. I've been learning nothing nothing new except the things I wanna know. I ain't been going any places I ain't never tried to go. You tell me that it's perfect, and then I say I don't know. So I'm dirty in the storm ditch while you're whiter than the snow. All these highways and these lines, they don't serve no one in space time. We built a cage we're too afraid to hate. But if all of this experiment could bleed out into firmament, then who am I to second guess your name? I am trapped for now behind my eyes. I am human, watch me die. I ain't been learning nothing new except the things I wanna know. I ain't been going any places I ain't never tried to go. You tell me that it's perfect, and then I say I don't know. So I'm dirty in the storm ditch while you're whiter than the snow. Thanks, y'all. All right, this is the last one. Thanks again for being here. This has been lovely. R.R. Williams is up next, and then Mr. Matt Pryor. I'm elated to get to watch the both of them. If you're ever in Tulsa, me and Mike play at the, or me and R.R. Williams, play at the First Shop every other Tuesday. I get to hear Mike play all the time, and it's made my life better. My relationship with my family is better. I perform better at my job. I've lost 50 pounds. Thanks again for being here, y'all. This last song is called Lavender and Honeysuckle, and it's about getting that last little way. We're camping in the desert, and then we're going to L.A. We camped along the west edge of the desert, on the backside of the solstice, on the forefront of your mind. And I suppose that we could both muster up a dance in these old thighs for the price of keeping you and I in time. We danced along the back roads, we hiked into the narrows where we swam with little toads and snakes and fish and other prettiest things. When we drove through Oklahoma, you said Muskogea's mostly loaded with old homes and dispensaries with stupid fucking names. And I don't miss this place at all. And I don't wonder why you don't call. Out here the heat only lasts as long as the daylight. Out here the heat only lasts as long as the daylight. Back on the west coast with an ocean, we'd been drinking from an ocean with a straw that had a hole where the bendy part buckles. And I wandered around Venice, watched the bodybuilders grimace while the yuppies drank their matcha with lavender and honeysuckle. And listen, son, you must be crazy if you think I'm the kind of lady gonna spend an extra couple bucks just for oat milk in my latte. We ate cold lox with capers, bought some flour and some papers from a dispensary called Neon Green Serape. And I don't say your name at all. And I don't wonder why you don't call. Out here the heat only lasts as long as the daylight. Out here the heat only lasts as long as the daylight. Out here the heat, it don't last that long, but the day might. Thanks so much, y'all. I'm Carl Carbonell.